dawn cracks open, not with a gentle whisper, but with the brutal clarity of another day. And in that raw, unfiltered light, you feel it, don't you? That heavy, suffocating blanket of nothing. No fire in the belly, no spark in the soul, just the dull, unyielding ache of inertia. The world outside screams for action, for ambition, for relentless drive, but within, there's only a void. A silence so profound it deafens the spirit. This isn't the romanticized struggle of the hero, forging ahead against insurmountable odds with an unwavering gaze. No, this is the quiet terror of the everyday, the insidious creep of apathy when the wellspring of motivation seems utterly, irrevocably dry. This is the moment when the very air you breathe feels thick with the weight of unfulfilled potential, and every fiber of your being screams to simply surrender, to retreat into the comforting shadow of stagnation. But listen closely, for this is the crucible. This is where the true alchemists of destiny are forged, not in the exhilarating rush of inspiration, but in the desolate quiet of its absence. Think of the titans who carved their names into the granite of history. Did they wake each morning bathed in an eternal glow of enthusiasm? Was every step a joyful dance towards destiny? Absolutely not. Consider Thomas Edison, hunched over his workbench, his mind a whirlwind of discarded theories, his laboratory a testament to 10,000 failures. Do you imagine that with each shattered filament, with each experiment that fizzled into nothing, he felt an unwavering surge of pure, unadulterated joy? Or was there, instead, the bitter taste of frustration, the gnawing doubt that perhaps this impossible dream was just that, impossible? Yet, he pressed on. He forced himself. Not because he felt like it, but because he understood a fundamental truth: feeling is a luxury, action is a necessity. The world doesn't care about your emotional barometer. It responds to your effort, your relentless, unyielding application of will. This isn't about conjuring some ephemeral sensation of inspiration. It's about recognizing that motivation is not a prerequisite for action, but often, its consequence. You don't wait for the tide to turn, you grab an oar and start rowing, even when the sea is dead calm and the shore feels impossibly distant. This is the profound reorientation of the human spirit. For too long, we have been told to follow our passion, to wait for inspiration to strike. These are dangerous half-truths, seductive whispers that lull us into a state of passive expectation. Passion often ignites after the work has begun, after the first sparks of success, however small, begin to glow. Inspiration is a fickle muse, a fleeting visitor who rarely arrives on demand. True progress, lasting transformation, is built on something far more substantial, something more akin to granite than mist, the unwavering, unyielding resolve to force yourself when you feel nothing. This foundational principle, deeply embedded in the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, is not a call to masochism, but a summons to mastery. It's about decoupling your actions from your immediate emotional state. It's about understanding that the path to greatness is paved not with constant exhilaration, but with consistent, often arduous, effort. When Walt Disney was sketching his earliest characters, laboring in a cramped, rat-infested studio, do you think he was skipping through meadows of pure delight? Or was he grinding, day in and day out, driven by a vision so powerful it transcended the immediate discomfort, the crushing rejection, the relentless financial strain? He didn't wait for the magic to appear, he created it, stroke by painstaking stroke, often when the internal well of creative energy felt profoundly, dishearteningly dry. The magic arrived because of his forced persistence, not before it. This is the iron will, the unshakable determination that separates the dreamers from the doers, the spectators from the architects of their own destiny. The landscape of the mind is a treacherous one, fraught with the quicksands of doubt and the thickets of inertia. When that feeling of nothing descends, It's often accompanied by a cacophony of inner voices, whispering rationalizations, offering seductive reasons to retreat. You're tired, they murmur. It's not the right time. You just don't have it today. These are the insidious saboteurs of progress, disguised as compassionate counsel. And this is precisely where the modern reinterpretation of Hill's philosophy becomes not just powerful, but absolutely vital. It demands a radical shift in your internal dialogue. You must silence the internal committee of excuses and replace it with a single, resonant command, forward. This is not a blind, headlong charge into the unknown. It is a deliberate, conscious act of willpower, born from a profound clarity of vision. When the internal fire sputters, your vision must become the sun, illuminating the path ahead, even when shrouded in emotional fog. What is it you truly desire, not vaguely, not wishfully, but with a searing, undeniable intensity? Is it the mastery of a skill, the creation of a legacy, the liberation from financial constraint, the forging of an unshakable character? Whatever it is, it must be so vividly imprinted on the canvas of your mind that it becomes more real than your current discomfort. Lincoln, in the darkest hours of the Civil War, faced unimaginable despair, betrayal, and the crushing weight of a nation tearing itself apart. Do you think there were days he felt nothing but the profound weariness of the task, the futility of it all? Yet, his vision of a united nation, of a preserved union, was so potent, so deeply ingrained, that he forced himself to continue, to lead, to endure, even when the very fabric of his being must have screamed for respite. His purpose became his unrelenting engine, overriding the despair of the moment. This requires an almost surgical precision in defining your purpose. Not just a vague idea of success, but a crystal clear articulation of why you are doing what you are doing. Why does this effort matter? What greater good does it serve, even if that good is simply the cultivation of your own potential? When that nothing feeling hits, and it will, it always does, your purpose is the anchor that prevents you from drifting aimlessly into the sea of regret. It's the immutable North Star when your internal compass is spinning wildly. Without it, you are a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every passing emotional squall. With it, you possess an internal generator, capable of producing energy even when external motivation is utterly depleted. This is the difference between fleeting ambition and enduring commitment. And this commitment, this forcing of oneself, directly translates into the cultivation of discipline. Discipline is not some inherent trait bestowed upon a select few, it is a muscle, developed through rigorous, consistent exercise. Every single time you override the urge to procrastinate, every time you choose effort over ease when you feel absolutely nothing, you are performing a rep for the muscle of discipline. And just like any muscle, the more you work it, the stronger it becomes. The weaker the feeling of nothing becomes, the easier it becomes to initiate action, to sustain effort, to push through discomfort. Andrew Carnegie, who built an empire of steel, was a man of immense will. He didn't build his fortune on whims and fancy, but on the relentless, disciplined application of his energy, his intellect, and his capital. He understood that the grandest achievements are not the result of sporadic bursts of genius, but of the cumulative power of consistent, disciplined effort, often in the face of indifference, opposition, and undoubtedly, personal fatigue. He forged steel, and in the process, he forged an unyielding discipline within himself, a discipline that propelled him ever forward, regardless of internal or external obstacles. The greatest deception is the belief that inspiration must precede perspiration. It is a lie whispered by comfort, echoed by complacency. The truth, stark and unforgiving, is that action is the midwife of motivation. When you force yourself to begin, even with a leaden heart and an empty spirit, something shifts. The very act of engaging, of putting one foot in front of the other, can ignite a faint spark. This is the magic that Hill understood. The mental faculties, once engaged, often begin to generate the very energy they seem to lack. The mind, like a vast engine, requires a starting crank. That crank is your unwavering decision to act, regardless of the emotional climate. Consider the meticulous daily routines of truly successful individuals, past and present. They don't wait for the stars to align, for the perfect mood to strike. They execute. They show up. They do the work. This isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's the unsexy truth of achievement. When you're standing at the precipice of a task, feeling absolutely nothing, telling yourself you can't, that's the precise moment to take a single, small, deliberate step. Make a call. Write one sentence. Do one push-up. Open the document. The inertia of rest is powerful, but the momentum of action, however small its beginning, can become an unstoppable force. This is the essence of building a habit, not waiting to feel like it, but doing it anyway, until doing it anyway becomes your default setting. And as you push through, as you force the action, an unexpected ally will often emerge: gratitude. It sounds counterintuitive, perhaps even trite, when you're wrestling with internal emptiness. But the conscious practice of gratitude, even for the smallest things, the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the opportunity to even try, creates a subtle but profound shift in perspective. It pulls you out of the self-pitying vortex of nothing and grounds you in the tangible realities of your existence. This isn't about ignoring hardship, but about acknowledging the inherent gifts within the struggle. The capacity to strive, to learn, to grow, even when it feels like pulling teeth, is itself a profound blessing. Napoleon Hill understood that a positive mental attitude wasn't a superficial veneer, but a deep-seated philosophical stance, one that actively seeks out reasons for appreciation, even amidst adversity. This deliberate cultivation of gratitude becomes a renewable energy source, a quiet wellspring that can replenish the spirit, even when the external world, or your internal state, seems to offer only barrenness. The journey will inevitably present obstacles, moments when not only do you feel nothing, but everything around you seems to conspire against your efforts. This is where adaptability becomes paramount. The rigid mind, unyielding in its attachment to a single plan, crumbles under the weight of unforeseen challenges. The masters of industry, the visionaries who shaped our world, were not infallible. They faced setbacks, rejections, and outright failures. Henry Ford revolutionized the automotive industry, but not without immense struggles, initial financial woes, and numerous false starts. Do you think every innovation, every expansion, was met with enthusiastic internal affirmation? Or were there moments of doubt, of forced recalculation, of pivoting when the original path proved impassable? He adapted. He iterated. He learned. This willingness to adjust, to pivot, to find new routes to the same grand destination, even when the old ones are blocked and your internal compass feels broken, is a hallmark of true resilience. It's the ability to continue forward, not by blindly adhering to a failing strategy, but by intelligently adjusting your sails to the prevailing winds, even when those winds are harsh and unwelcome. Beyond adaptability lies the unyielding fortress of resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain or the avoidance of struggle, it is the capacity to endure, to bounce back, to draw strength from the very experiences that threaten to break you. When you force yourself to act when you feel nothing, you are, in essence, building your resilience muscle. Each time you push through, you are reinforcing the neural pathways that say, I can overcome this. I will persist. This isn't just about bouncing back, it's about developing the internal fortitude that allows you to absorb repeated blows and still stand tall, still move forward. Think of the mighty oak, not just standing against the storm, but growing stronger because of it, its roots digging deeper with every gale. Your internal roots, your resolve, grow deeper with every act of forced will, with every step taken in the absence of feeling. And what feeds this resilience? A relentless, insatiable hunger for learning. The greatest minds in history were not simply repositories of knowledge, they were active, lifelong students. They understood that the world is a constantly evolving classroom, and every challenge, every setback, every moment of internal doubt, presents an opportunity for growth. When the nothing feeling descends, it can paralyze, making even the simplest task seem monumental. But if you reframe that moment as a chance to learn, about your own triggers, about new strategies, about different approaches, you transform a moment of stagnation into an opportunity for expansion. Edison's 10,000 failures were not truly failures in his eyes, they were 10,000 ways he learned how not to build a light bulb. Lincoln, constantly learning from his generals, from his political opponents, from the very suffering of his nation, refined his leadership and strategies, ultimately steering the Union through its darkest hour. He did not possess all the answers, but he possessed the unwavering commitment to find them, to learn, to adapt, to grow, even when burdened by immense despair. This continuous learning fuels your growth, and ultimately, your mastery. Mastery is not a destination, it is a perpetual journey, an endless refinement of skill, knowledge, and character. And it is a journey that absolutely demands that you override your transient emotional states. No artist paints a masterpiece only when inspired. No athlete wins a championship solely on days they feel perfectly energized. No entrepreneur builds an empire waiting for an eternal spark of genius. They show up. They practice. They iterate. They force themselves to confront their limitations and transcend them. They commit to the tedious, often unglamorous, work of improvement, day in and day out, regardless of how they feel. This is the relentless pursuit of excellence, the understanding that true power resides not in perpetual enthusiasm, but in unwavering, consistent effort, regardless of the emotional landscape. So, when the silence descends, when the wellspring of motivation seems utterly dry, when that heavy blanket of nothingness threatens to smother your ambition, do not surrender. This is not a signal to retreat, it is a call to arms. This is the moment to unleash the raw, unadulterated power of your will. This is where true character is forged, where the distinction between those who merely dream and those who truly do becomes starkly evident. Do not wait for inspiration to strike, become the lightning rod. Do not wait for passion to ignite, become the fire. Force yourself. Not out of grim resignation, but out of a fierce, unyielding conviction in your own potential. Recognize that the feeling of nothing is merely a fleeting shadow, and beyond it lies the boundless realm of your untapped power. It is in these moments of profound internal resistance that the truest victories are won. So rise. Act. And let the sheer, unadulterated force of your will shatter the illusion of nothing, revealing the extraordinary power that lies dormant within you, waiting to be unleashed. The world awaits your will. Now, go and impose it.